Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you're really serious about trading and you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of long term and short term setups, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into the market. So, first of all, we got lots of earnings coming up this week. We got lots of data. We got Fed. So, it's going to be a jam packed week. Now, starting Wednesday, we got big earnings from ASML. We got AT&T. Then we have Microsoft, Meta, Tesla. These are some big earnings. IBM also another big company. We got Caterpillar on Thursday, Mastercard. We got Visa, and this is the hottest stock in the market right now. SanDisk. We'll see how they did with earnings. Apple is another big mega cap that's going to report earnings on Thursday. We also have some earnings starting Tuesday morning, like big company Boeing, UPS, GM, Texas Instruments. So a bunch of earnings this week. And top of that, you can see bullish sentiment is still there. 43.2 people are bullish on the market. We got bears actually gone up 32.7 and neutral 24%. Now, fear and greed index, you can see neutral 52. We got lots of data, durable goods on Monday, ADP employment change weekly. Then we have on Wednesday, this is the one, and I think that's going to be a nothing burger decision. There's going to be nothing. There will be a question about, uh, Powell and Trump about that, probe into Powell, and he's gonna say, "I'm gonna do my job. I'm not gonna talk about politics." So same thing that he always says. I think it's gonna be a nothing burger. FOMC we're gonna get on Wednesday. Hopefully, there is something that actually moves the market. That would be interesting than having a nothing burger FOMC. We also have initial jobless claims on Thursday. So lots of earnings. And if you look at right here, government shutdown again looming because of a lot of people are not actually trying to fund ICE, and that's one thing. And if that's going to be the case, you're going to see a government getting shut down once again starting next month. Now, what market did on Friday? Dow was down 0.58%. Nasdaq somehow was up because of, I guess, Microsoft 0.28%. S&P up slightly or flat here, but then Russell took a beating, down 1.85%, advancing 31, declining almost 65%. 11 sectors. Basic materials again led the way. Energy, consumer, defensive. Even for the week, basic materials led the way, and then energy. So more like a risk of type of move in the market. Stock market map, you can see here, we got a lot of green, especially on Microsoft, up. It was up, I think, nearly 4%. We got Nvidia going up 1.5, AMD going up, Intel down 17% with earnings coming up. I think it was they had actually earnings on Thursday, and then it just did not even recover. Financial names and XLF, you can see it's actually down quite a bit, and that is the red flag in the market right now. A lot of these names are going down, including the ETF KRE. Meta was up 1.72%, Netflix up 3%, Google down 0.73%. So, with market doing all that, we got all the news, we have Fed, we have big earnings that's going to move the market. We need to talk about some big names, and I think we should start with Microsoft today. So, let's get started on Microsoft, guys. On Microsoft, it's up 3.28%. So, a big rally, impressive rally on Friday off the lows. And it was coming because Microsoft is a big name. And when it gets oversold, it's going to rally. And I think the similar type of rally we could see on Apple very soon, but it's just not happening at the moment. So, Microsoft, we came back in. Right into the bottom of this bear flag, 469.46. We got a rejection, came back down, and now holding over 462. That's going to be key zone going into tomorrow's session, Monday. Underneath that, we have support at the 5-day moving average, 455, and then we could be going back. and making a new low, and this could be just a dead cat bounce, a relief rally that we saw on Friday. Now, if things are really gonna look bullish, you're gonna see the earnings coming out Wednesday, and if this thing can actually get over, I would say top of this range right here, about 492. If that is the case, and that's going to be taken out, this resistance right here, definitely it's going to look a lot more bullish for more upside, maybe up into this gap close to 505. So watch out if this thing actually gets over 469.46 and gets over 472 negative sloping 20-day, we could be going into 480s and possibly even retesting this 50-day moving average, which is 481. So Microsoft definitely, I mean, it looks really good, the rally, but am I actually buying this? I don't think so. We need to see more confirmation this week, and especially strong earnings from Microsoft can help this stock move back up. Otherwise, we could be going and filling that gap right here just underneath 400. And it happened before. You can see we came into this monthly 50 SMA and we bounced. So we're nowhere near that 50 SMA right now. And we could be pulling back if this is actually just going to be a dead cat bounce. And if earnings are not impressive, that's where we're going on Microsoft. On AMD, it's up 2.35%. So AMD, here's a stock that's going to make the next move. And why I think that, because if you look at SanDisk or even AMU, what the heck is happening on those? Well, I think if this one can take out this 267, I actually played on my own Friday, and these were zero DTs. When I saw the stock hitting 266, I know that's previous all-time high, and this is where it can get rejection. It was far overextended from the Bollinger Band. And what happened, guys? I caught a nice $6 move to the downside. It was actually more than that. Almost came down to fill the gap, but we did not do that on Friday's session. And zero DTs, just check out those premiums. It was fantastic that I got paid on this one, and we just backed off from previous all-time highs, getting a rejection, came back. So going into tomorrow's session, 256 is going to be a level of interest. As long as support holds, we can push towards that 267, and if that breaks, we could be going into 274 and possibly into 290s in near future, with earnings coming up next month. Now, if this thing does not hold here at 256, gap fill reversal cannot act as a support. The next big support at 245.39, and then 240 down to even 235. I think this would be a nice dip buying opportunity if we pull back in right about that 240 to maybe 235 mark. As long as the support holds, this is going to be a back test, and that's going to be a dip to buy on AMD. But if you're looking to short, I don't think if this thing actually gets that breakout over 267, this is not a short, and it will run just like AMU and SanDisk running right now. And here's my X account. And if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And there is no subscription, nothing here. It's totally free. Now, I want to share some trade ideas from last week, and it was a really fantastic week. You can see GTLB 500 shares picked up on 115th, and on Thursday, which was yesterday, 122.26, it was up $4 per share, which was fantastic. We took profit on that play. Snow shares we picked up at 205, sold at 214. Here's another one that was absolutely beautiful, just holding 2 3 nights, and that was it. Here's another one, ARM shares, and also you can see 150 calls for June 17th, 2027. We took some profit on this play, and this one is up. Again, it was up yesterday on Thursday, and it was up even more today, but then gave back some of those gains. But the position is still green, and we took profit, some profit yesterday. This is the best one. Thursday, took these puts at 270 to 71, 266 puts on IWM. And just go and have a look at that one today, guys. It's in the money, over the money. It was a really fantastic trade idea on IWM that we collected a massive premium today. So if you're really, and I mean it, really serious about trading, if you're just browsing, this is not for you. Do not even bother, looking at it. If you're really serious about trading and you want to do this full time, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. On Apple stock is absolutely flat on the day, and we have the earnings coming up this week. But Apple still not like Microsoft. We did not see any big rally here on Apple. So with earnings coming up, if this thing can recapture 250, we can possibly make a move, and this could be a trade over 250. It can run into this gap right about 255, and that would be a trade $5 to the upside. If you can exit and you can respect your stop loss, that is a play, but it cannot hold through the earnings. Now, if this thing does not get over 250, we could be coming down even more, all the way down to that weekly support. If you look at my screen, that is actually the weekly support right about that 241.78. So watch out for that. And underneath that, we could be going for the next gap right down here, which is right around that daily 200 SMA at 235. We can get over this 250 and fill the gap and hold 255, then watch out for 259 on Apple. On Tesla stock is absolutely flat on the day. So nice bounce off of these lows from last Tuesday and just actually hanging in there. If you look at my screen, 446, all the moving averages are below and the stock is trading above. So that is technically looking, a little bit more bullish with earnings coming up this week. But again, I'm not expecting a huge beat on earnings. And even, if Elon comes out and say he did really great with Tesla, I'm not buying that because the sales are down. People are not into, and then don't forget, you don't get the tax credit anymore. So not a lot of people are just into Teslas right now. The price is high and you're not getting any extra credit, nothing. And sales are down. BYD took over Tesla in China. So sales are down and they're allowing, Chinese companies to go into Canada, a lot of European countries where Tesla is getting beat up. So Tesla here, watch out if this thing will go up, and you guys know how this thing will go up only if Elon starts buying. At some point, if there is a big dip, if the stock bottoms, that means what Elon Musk is buying again. If it sells off, that means he's selling, and I think this was the selling that we saw. A lot of the selling because of the tax purposes, even though he denied, and not selling any shares. I don't trust that. And now Tesla is over that 446. So as long as we can remain over 446 to the 50-day moving average 442 or even 432, I would remain a little bit bullish, a little bit optimistic for maybe a move up to 464, maybe even fill the gap right here at 474. To the downside, 432 gives up. It will make a new low, possibly will retest the support and the lower band 420 to 416, and underneath that you're going to see more downside, maybe sweeping these lows and going under and filling this gap at 368.99. On Meta, it's up 1.72%, so what a move. And this could be considered as a double bottom here, but I actually got in here 605. Unfortunately, I sold right about here, I think. And then this thing went up another like 20 bucks or more than that, guys. Huge, huge move on Meta. So Meta, now there is no trade. And why? Because they have earnings. And if you're trading, you have to get out before earnings. And with IV factor, I would say stay away from Meta. It's expensive. Let Meta do its thing, and we'll see how it goes after earnings. So right now, you can see rejection from where? Well, 664, pretty much right on the dot. We rejected, came back in, and now it's holding over 644 20 days. So it's holding over the moving averages, looking a lot better than before. If this thing can get over 664 come tomorrow, then we could see a possible move up to 682 or even higher into that gap with earnings coming up. We get under right here 644, and then we take out 638. We could be coming down to 628.74 and maybe even filling this gap at 618.27 on Meta. On Amazon stock, it's up 2%. So Amazon was a beautiful dip right here. And I think we talked about it last time in my video, which was made like 3 days ago, last week. I did not cover, these big names past couple days. And you can see this low, and this is a higher low, another higher low. And this was pretty much a nice look below and fell. And, the dip buyers bought it right back up. And you can see pretty, big move from 226 almost up to, over 240 here. So Amazon with also earnings coming up the following week. This one 242 breaks, we could be going into 250s and possibly even into all-time highs. But as of right now with earnings, if this is just a dead cat bounce, if this thing comes back and does not hold 236 and then comes down to 232, also breaks that, we could be going lower down to this next support, 223, and that's not gonna be something that bulls wants to see here on Amazon, because definitely it's a nice channel as long as this actually holds. But then you want to see continuation to the upside and possibly a break over 242 in next few sessions right here on Amazon. On Google, stock is down 0.73%. So Google actually did not make brand new all-time highs this week. We came back off from all-time highs, sweeping, underneath the 20-day moving average, and now it's holding at previous all-time high, that 328 zone. So as long as 328 holds, we could be going into that 338, possibly even into 342. But if this thing breaks below 328, we could be pulling back into that 324.85 20-day moving average. And if it goes underneath that, we could be even retesting the 50-day, which is at 314. And then the lower Bollinger Band sitting at 307. We also have earnings coming up, not this week, but the following week, next month. On Nvidia stock, it's up 1.53%. So Nvidia, you can see every rally, it just gets faded. We do not have a strong bull trend on Nvidia. As a matter of fact, we're just neutral here on Nvidia, not doing much. We gapped up on Friday. We did not fill the gap. We came really close to the gap, and yet we still have the gap open. And we had this, dip buyers coming in and buying up the dip right here, and then this thing goes right back up. But again, we're not getting over that 190 range. If we can do that on Nvidia, we could be going into that 195s and maybe even higher. But at this point, watch out this week. It's going to be crucial for Nvidia to hold 186 as a support, if not at least 184, which was this zone where we got rejection many, many times. That has to hold for the bulls if this is going to actually make a statement and possibly moves up higher before earnings that is coming up end of next month. And Nvidia, this is a market moving stock. If this thing is not going to perform, you're not going to see tech going up big time. I mean, how long you're going to see EMU and SanDisk doing the job? Those are not big companies, not, nowhere near big as Nvidia. So Nvidia has to deliver. If not, market can definitely take a big hit in next few days. All right, so Broadcom, you can see not having a great time last week. We broke down, and what happened since then? Made a new low. We took out these lows from earnings, and it actually closing at 320 underneath this low right down here. So that is the concern here. This is another big name that is actually breaking down, and if this thing cannot recapture 324 and 330, we could be going into this gap, and you can see that is pretty far down, guys, close to 307 right here. And if that's the case, that's where it's going, unless we can recapture first that key support right here, right about 324. And then we need to see Broadcom going over 330. If we get some sort of a rejection here and this thing comes back, definitely it's heading down for this massive gap from previous earnings. So Netflix up 3%, finally showing some strength. And I think we could be putting in some sort of a bottom very soon. And you can see, I mean, this thing just getting hammered from that all-time high. Since then, there is not even like, since this last move right here and just a couple of days here, it just going down. So now it's over that key support right here at 85. If we can hold that, we can possibly make a move up to that 87.2. And from there, this resistance here to watch 91.7. But if this thing goes right back down, definitely that is not a good signal for the stock. We could see lower prices on Netflix. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. I'll definitely keep you guys updated tomorrow night.